Hello there, this is Retro Spirits Gaiden, and this is Space Fantasy Zone on the PC Engine CD-ROM system. Here is the CD-ROM system screen, and here's Opa Opa tripping over the R in run and smashing his face on the push. There's no music on this title screen, unfortunately for us, so you have to listen to my boring voice. It's a title screen and high score. There's no music on the title screen, and there's no sound effects for operating the options. We have a FMV style intro with no music or sound effects. This is a mashup of Space Harrier, as you can hear from the music, and Fantasy Zone, as you can see from the visuals. And before we get onto that, let's just talk a little bit about the genesis of this game. This was a more or less finished game, and the ROM somehow made its way into the interwebs, and some enterprising people have made it work properly, whacked it on a CD, not really finished off any of the music, so I think there should have been music over that FMV at least at the beginning. But what is in the ROM is now operable on your CD-ROM drive or emulator if you've got a PC emulator. And yeah, they're selling it on CD. PCE Works, again, the legendary PCE Works, making repros left, right and centre, have created this repro of Space Fantasy Zone and are flogging it for around 28 English pounds. A few more in euros if you want to count euros. We have green bars on the floor. We have what looks like cycloptic octopuses, orange octopuses. This tree boss is from Fantasy Zone, spitting leaves at me in the same way he does in Fantasy Zone. It's all very colourful, this game. The 3D update on the actual graphics isn't quite as smooth as it could potentially be. Opa Opa there, running along the floor. We've got a shop here with the shop music from Fantasy Zone. And this menu might take me a while to navigate. Not quite sure what all these things do. One of them makes me buff. Well, there's 4 there that make me buff at different levels of buffness. Don't know what that relates to. I'm pressing. I don't think I can buy that. Don't have enough money for that. Or do I? Get your hand out of the way. Special item power up. Let's just buy some stuff and see what it does. No, not going to buy anything. Click something for crying out loud. Yeah, do I want the giant nuclear bot or the 256-ton weight? It is a difficult decision. No, thank you. Did I buy anything? Yes, I bought something. I bought a huge weight. Hopefully that'll help me out at some point. We've got some enemies from Space Harrier level 3 here. Looking very colourful, but slightly jerky. We've got purple rolling bars now. And we have... I don't know what those enemies are. I'm assuming they're from Fantasy Zone. So I know Space Harrier pretty well. I don't know Fantasy Zone that well because I never really got on with that game so much. I don't mind it. I just never went out of my way to play it. This music is very jolly. It's the same soundtrack as the first level though. So I'm wondering whether there's some cutbacks on the ROM because of the unfinished soundtrack. I'm just going to play the same soundtrack every level. There's not as much stuff flying around as there is in the actual Space Harrier conversion of the PC Engine, but it's alright, it controls pretty well. I'm going to have to get used to that menu to get my special weapons. I don't know what the 256T thing is going to do. Maybe I should press the other button and see what happens. Oh, hit by red balls, angry red balls dropping on my head. Shooting him in the face. He didn't enjoy that. He exploded from the stress. We got a round-ending jingle. Okay. Well, it's colourful. I'm not sure it's that exciting to play. Maybe I should have watched some videos of it before I decided to buy it, huh? So I've got a list of stuff at the bottom. I've got Jet, I've got 2, I've got 256T, and I've got a sort of a squiggly pattern on the side. So that obviously means something to somebody, not to this dude. I'm avoiding buying the nuclear bomb there for some reason. Just buy the atom bomb and just lay waste to this whole goddamn game. Special item exit. No, thank you. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, and 3 at the top there. It says sub. I'm assuming I can activate one of those things and it gives me a weapon. Although I just got shot and he screamed in a hideous manner, like it was having his guts extracted from his anus. The kind of scream that will curdle the blood. Okay, we've got a very short loop of music here. How strange. Okay, so there's obviously some things missing in this version of Space Fantasy Zone, but you can play it. I wonder if it's got all the levels that are intended for the final release in this. It's certainly playable. Not sure it's that exciting a game. It's not Space Harrier. It's not Fantasy Zone. It's Space Fantasy Zone. And if you ever wonder what a mashup of those two things would be like, this is that, but I think it's slower and less difficult than we all imagined by the looks of it. Yeah, I need to play it some more. I need to find out. I need to get into the guts of it. Like I said, he had a blood-curdling scream when he died. Certainly had his guts pulled out of that. Here's the cycloptic octopuses again. Here's the trees wearing leafy boob tubes, which is very strange. We've got some. Well, it's not, I suppose it is parallax scrolling, but we've got some scrolling in the background. Presentation is fairly nice. I wouldn't say Opa Opa looks particularly good from this angle. It doesn't tilt or anything, he just kind of rotates slightly left and right when he fires. Yeah, so you're looking at a big round ass through the whole of this game. And that might suit somebody. Let's shoot this log in the mouth, in its tree mouth. Some funky bass going on in this tune. Yeah, it didn't take a lot, did he? It didn't take a lot to give up the ghost. This is called Weaponals, look. Weaponals. It's like a McDonald's, but for weapons. So I imagine these are cheap, and they taste horrible. We've got wings. We have got jet, rocket. I guess that's my flying speed. That's my flying speed. The top row must be my strength, and these are extra weapons. So let's buy one of those and activate them in the game. What am I doing here? I'm buying more strength? I don't know why I'd need to do that. Okay. Back into level 2 in Purple Town. Purple and green should never be seen. That's what my art teacher used to say. And he obviously hadn't played Space Fantasy Zone, because in this game it's glorious. Okay. Looks like you get a bonus for destroying a wave of enemies. Some of this is very unanimated, like those projectiles in Space Harrier would have been spinning or something. So yeah, although maybe this game is playable from beginning to end, I think some of the animations could potentially do with some work. Well, could have done with some work back in the day before the game was released. I wonder why they canned this. Maybe because it was slightly dull? Don't know. The sound effect for your gun isn't that impressive. Anyway, it's kind of alright. If you want to play a slow version of Space Harrier with extra weaponry, I suggest you go on the internet and download the ROM for this before purchasing a repro of it, because you may not like it. Like I said, it's sort of a slightly boring version of Space Harrier. How strange. Well, that's my first impressions of Space Fantasy Zone. So, yeah, jury's out. Can't recommend it. Maybe I'll play it a bit more and come back with a recommendation. Alright then, ta-ra.